Doodlebud here. Today I'm going to show you what I think is probably the most boring fountain pen I've ever used. In case you couldn't guess which one, yeah, it's this really boring one right here in the middle. I might have trouble getting focus on it because there's no features or anything for the camera to focus on or even shadows really. It's just one white blob with very few features on it, and it happens to be a fountain pen. I was visiting the local Muji store. I'm putting together a care package for a very kind, generous viewer who sent me some pens. Fantastic stuff. Finally, everything arrived in the mail that needed to arrive. Some cool stuff I'm sending back. I also want to send some Muji paper because it's one of my favorites. I really like it. And when I went to checkout, of course, I saw the regular Muji pen. That's this one over here. It's quite popular. I think it's a sharp looking pen. And then they had their new compact pen. Came in this little box here. So I thought, oh, Muji did a pocket pen. Let's try it out. How much was this thing? So 20 bucks Canadian, 17 bucks US. You open up the box, again, super plain. I'm not expecting much. I'm expecting maximum efficiency, minimum cost of production, and out comes a pen. Came with 2 cartridges that's in there. That's what I have inside the pen. And it's designed very well, very functional. Made from polycarbonate, so you could just chuck this thing around. It's not going to break or crack. Even has a little clip that's built in there. So I thought, you know what? Let's give it a try. But wow, it can't get any more. It can't get any more boring than this. Even proportions, it's quite good. I thought that's a decent size. It's not too small because when you post it, it's a good size. Fits in my hand. I like the dimensions. It has a snap cap. Really great seal. But I do not enjoy using this at all. I think part of the reason I don't really enjoy it is because it is incredibly light, like almost too light. I haven't weighed it yet. So what is this? Okay, yeah, 10.5 grams. That's with the cartridge in it. Then of course there is the way it looks. Now it only comes in one color. It might look better in a different color, but it only comes in one color, plain old white. And if you like nib options, prepare to be disappointed. Extra fine is the only way you can do it. Now you may ask, well, what's the writing experience like? I wouldn't use the word experience to describe how it feels to write with it. I would say forgettable is more the description I would give it. I'll do a super fast little writing sample on my Muji paper, which I love, and I'll go Muji versus Muji. So the classic Muji pen, which again, nothing crazy going on over here with this pen. I enjoy working with it and writing with it. It's nothing over the top, nothing super special, but it feels nice when you write with the pen. This thing, I almost wish it wasn't a fountain pen because I just don't think this is a good example of what it should feel like to go with a fountain pen. I'm probably never going to say this ever again, but I would probably pick a ballpoint over this pen if I had the option. Now, as I actually compare my writing samples, they're not that different from each other. They're pretty much the same. But I have to tell you, even just from a feel perspective, I thought my writing was way worse with this pen just because it doesn't feel great when you use it. I don't enjoy using it whatsoever, especially the feedback, the feel you get from the nib. If you use fountain pens, that's what it's all about. It's how the nib feels when it goes across the page and how the pen feels in the hand. And even though this is a simple little pen, nothing super special going on, just the feedback from the nib, the feel in the hand, everything feels far superior. So even if the writing is the same, because now that I'm looking at it, it's pretty much the same. It's not that different. I would pick this over this pen in a second. This is made quite well, but man, I don't like using it. So if you got 20 bucks Canadian to spend, what are some other pens you could go for? Well, right away, Jinhao is essentially the king of cheap. Here are a few models. You might have seen this one recently. This is the Jinhao 82. Normally goes for maybe around 10 bucks, something like that. This is, I think this is the 9013. There it is. Yeah, this is the 9013. So I got a few other pens here, the 9013 and the 9016. Just a slight difference in size. A lot of people are familiar with the big one over here. Where is it here? The 9019. It's a pretty big pen, big nib, all that stuff. But, this is much smaller. So let's look at some of their smaller pens. The 9013 here, you could, I got a big hand, but you could get away with a quick note without it being posted, but it posts quite nicely. So there you go. I would pick this pen in a second over the Muji. Even if the converter rattles a little bit, I would still put up with that. Here's the 9016. I'm going to do reviews on these. I forgot all about these pens. I bought them a long time ago. Way prefer that over the Muji one, or the little pocket pen. Much more comfortable. I like the looks of it. Guess what? These all come in different colors. And even though the nib choice isn't huge on these, there's more than extra fine. And then here's another option over here, the Hongdian C1. I think this is around $10-15 Canadian, something like that. Again, not a ton of nib options, but in a second, I would pick this pen over the Muji pen. I know it's a little bit more compact, but there's so many other small compact pens I would pick in a second. Look at that pen. That is a much neater, more interesting looking pen. They all function just fine. And like I said, I have nothing against the construction of the pen and just functionality, everything. It's really, really well constructed. But if you haven't caught on yet, if I opened up a drawer and these were the only pens that were in there and I needed to jot something down or pick a pen to write with, I'm going to a meeting, I need a pen, I wouldn't pick that one. I would come down and look and go, okay, we got this little felt tip here from Dollarama. I put a few strokes on the page and go, maybe. Staples OptiFlow. Yeah, that's working. That's not too bad at all. While I was at the Muji store, I also just picked up this little felt tip pen. I like the way this one feels and the way it sounds, but that's a little bit too thick of a line. Let me give the Muji one more try. Yeah, no, it would not be the Muji. Probably the Staples OptiFlow that you find in the drawer. I would pick over this one. It just has it's got no life to it. It's got no feel. This would be like having a plain white, boneless, skinless, boiled chicken breast for dinner. Yeah, it's protein, but come on, you can do better than that. And it would probably look about the same as this pen. I'll leave it there. And by the way, if you have one of these and you really like it, good for you. You are the person this pen was designed for and who they intended this to reach. And the designers and manufacturer are very happy to hear that you love it. But I'm going for anything else other than this one. So into the drawer you go. Keep an eye out. I will review these very soon. If you want to find some other pens that I recommend for beginners, I got a video on that. I'll put it down there. I'll put a thumbnail here. We will catch you next time.